The state of psychology and psychiatry in America is troubling. I think it's at a sad intersection here, crossroads. I have had experience with them since I came to America, and I find that North America, and I find that most of them are kind of like woefully inadequate for the job. First, I want to talk about Malik Nadal. This major, working in the army to counsel individuals that are coming back with various mental conditions from the war, etc. He was outright hostile to them, and then he of himself succumbed to problems, and he needed counseling. I think Jesus, around something with Jesus, people were saying, physician, heal yourself. If you're a physician, probably you should know how to take care of yourself. And as a psychologist, a psychiatrist, he should have been able to take care of himself. But my sneaky suspicion is that there are two types of psychiatrists and psychologists in America. One is basically an idiot. He has some inherent mental problems. He's kind of dumb, and he's joining this profession so he could help himself. He could understand himself, so he doesn't have to go to somebody to spend all that money. He could take care of himself. And then, of course, he's going to make some money on the side because he's going to push his diploma. And then there are some who definitely are together. They have enormous experiences, they are successful, and they think that they could be of use to helping people how to be successful. I think the first, these two psychologists, this psychiatrist and this psychologist I'm presenting here, I think are in the first category. They're a bunch of dummies, and they figure they could see anything, because you see, in psychiatry, it's not a science. You could see anything, and as long as it fits into the persona that others have of the person, you win. And so I come to a psychologist that I was sent to. Now, the state of Florida took my child, and I asked them, I said, please return my child. So they said, oh, when you need your child returned to you, you have to go and do a fitness, an assessment to say that you're fit to be a parent. So they scheduled an appointment with me to go and see the psychologist. They're paying it, of course. Now, when you pay in, you get a better report as if the government is paying. But in this case, whether I had paid or not, it would have been the same, because the government wanted him to give me a derogatory report so they could get me on into psychiatric care. Because, again, my problem was that I was too vocal. As a black, I should have been staying back and have nothing to say. But I was up on television talking about, hard times coming, and the meltdown is coming, and what I thought of 911, and how we're moving outside of God's hand, and so things are firing at us and hurting us. And so they got upset. They took my child away and tried to use this as a catalyst to get me to go and submit to the psychiatry where they could have hurt me. So the morning I was supposed to go and see this psychologist, I woke up and I found my van open. The doors are opened. So I called the sheriff. I said, look, I woke up this morning and I found my doors are open. If anytime you ride up and you stop me, you find anything contraband or anything illegal in my vehicle, other people have access to my vehicle. Now, I dressed in my suit. I took my briefcase and I took my computer and I took my diplomas. I went over to see the psychologist now for this assessment. He called me and then he asked me, what happened today? Now, real quick, my mind circled around and I figured that he wants me to talk about that incident that I complained about opening my van. But then I figured that if I discuss this with him, he will want to know from me who opened it. And if I tell him the government, then he can say I'm crazy and he can send me to a psychiatrist. Okay? So I ignored him because I don't feel like I had to discuss nothing with him. I went to him and he needs to talk about other things that would help him to understand whether I'm a good parent or not. But I showed him my diplomas. At that time I had 9 degrees. I had 2 Associate of Arts, I had 3 bachelors, I had 2 masters, and I had 2 doctorates. I showed him my diplomas. I gave him my resume. The top, I had operated a small income tax business in Canada, and then I had worked as in a grocery store in Florida called Winn-Dixie. I worked as a stocker, stocking the shelves, and then I became the grocery manager, and then I became a manager of the dairy department. So at the end of it, when I was in court, and they said, we have the report from the psychologist. I didn't see it. I'm in court, and they're reading it out now. The prosecutor said that the doctor says that he is grandiose. Now, his reasoning that I'm grandiose is this. He says that he can't verify my education. He's familiar with one school, and that's a school in Florida I went to, Edward Waters College, and I got first-class honors. He says he know that school, but he's not familiar with the others. Now, on the internet or all the schools, he could have checked it out. And then he says he can't verify my work experience. And he thinks that I'm just putting it on, I'm grandiose. And I did a test that he gave me and I scored perfect. And whenever parents score perfect on this test, it shows that they're trying to hide something. And therefore, he's recommending that I go for long-term counseling with a psychotherapist. He goes on to say that I told him that I've never used any illegal drugs, only prescription, vitamins and so on. And he seemed not to, he talked it in such a way that you don't believe it. Because I'm black, I'm supposed to be a drug user or alcoholic or whatever. He lies, say I told him that my father was an alcoholic. And me and my family don't get along. Now, I gone over to see this psychotherapist. She says that, look, if you want me to treat you, you have to give me in writing 3 things. Your mental problems, your behavioral problems, and your faulty thoughts. I said, well, I don't have those. She said, you got to do it, or else I can't treat you. I have to terminate you. I said, well, I can't. I don't know what you're talking about. So she said, come next week. Make sure you have it. I turned up next week. I don't have it. So she says that, you know what? I have to terminate you now. She sent again to the department and they read it in court that I am delusional because I told her that the FBI infiltrated my house, the word she used, and put poison in my food. Therefore, I need to go and see a psychiatrist and be placed on medication. Now, I decided not to go and see the psychiatrist because I know how it's going to go down. Let me speculate how it's going to go down. I can show up there and then she's going to say that I'm behaving very psychotic and I am a danger to myself and to society. So she called in the cops and I have to take this medication because I'm a danger. Okay? And so when they give you that medication, then it's truly going to create a problem, You might be fainting or whatever, and then they're going to put you in a medical institution for observation, and then permanently you'll be there because they're going to keep giving you whatever medication it is to create the type of mental condition that they think that you need to be locked up in. So this psychologist here, I would like the Psychological Association of Florida and of America to investigate him. He is used by the court to give them the opinion they want. They have a criminal, he's going to say what the government wants to hear. This guy is dangerous, you need to be locked up, yada, yada, yada. This parent here should not get back this children because this and that. He comes up with anything. And basically, you would expect a report that he is given as if I had done anything like go on and shoot somebody's house or go on and stalk some woman and hold her up at gunpoint, or I had throw the child down or hold him over the banister or something. I did none of that. It simply started because I asked them to return my child. And they're saying that if I need that, I need to go and be cleared by a psychologist. So you're seeing how these psychologists are stupid. This lot of classes I'm talking about, including Nadal, and this doctor, his name is Dr. Bloomfield. This doctor, these are the ones who are like those who molest kids, steal the people's money, and beat up the family, end up having to be in sort of hospitalize themselves because they're stupid. So we having these people that's supposed to be professionals, but they're not professionals. These kind of guys, what they do is like their job is like this, because they don't. This job is not one that you could be objective. You go to them and say, look, I want to qualify for disability check. You jump on the desk, you start playing like a frog or like a fowl, and you write, you qualify for the check, go ahead. Or the state wants to lock you up, so you're going to say, yeah, he's crazy, he should be locked up for life. Or you want to get into some program, you say that you're disabled mentally, so they should give you that program. So I hope that the government would investigate these people, and especially this Dr. Bloomfield. He's a criminal. He's trying to create a situation, destroy people just because the government wants him to destroy them. So I am appealing to the Psychological Association of Florida to deal with this guy because he's outrageous. He's a criminal and he's trying to destroy people, and he seems to be a racist. Now again, if I were white, you want to come to that stupid stuff because I'm more qualified than him, I have more education than him, but yet he's saying that I don't understand my behavior and my thoughts and all kind of stupid stuff. Anybody that listens to this video, if you have any way that I could publish the psychological report on any network or whatever that you could see it, let me know, because I really want to publish it so folks could see it and I could show you the evidence that this guy is a big joke.